Well, you guys may have thought I'm dead. Well, actually, you may not, because I just uploaded a video like 3 days ago, 3 days ago. But I'm not dead. I'm back with this series. Why am I taking so long to make this video? You ask. Well, Blox card is a hard game. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, yeah. All right. So, have you ever wondered why yellow is is used so many in so many matches and is such a good color? Well, look at its tier list. You see, first of all, let me just go back to one of some of our older videos. Let's see. Right. Let's start with red. Um, it have roughly 2, 5, 10, 11, 16, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, around 31. One of them has been downgraded. Oh, what the heck? One of them has been downgraded to epic, so it's 31. Next is a blue card. Let's just wait here for a bit. My internet is getting shittier and shittier. Corvus if could work fine.
It get animated.
No.
It's not. It can.
No. Yep. Okay. So roughly 1. This is 6, 6, 4, 10, 10, 5, 15, 16, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32. Also 32. Next. Where's green? Yep, green's here. Let's just wait. Gotta wait. Let's see. Green is. God damn, this is taking so long. Oh, my Miriam. Okay, green have. Oh, god damn it. Roughly 6, 6, 4, 10, 12, 15, 20, 21, 25, 20, 28, 30. 30 legendaries. Now let's see how many how many yellows have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, wait. This is 6. This is 10. This is 15. This is 20. This is 25. This is 30. This 35, this 40, and these are 42. So all of the other colors have roughly around 30 legendaries, maybe exclusion of white, but we not have been there yet. While yellow have 42 legendaries. I know that legendary may not be the strongest cards in the game, but it definitely helps when your class have this much legendary. Look, let's switch to blue. They have 3 pages. Yellow have 4. Green have 3 pages. Red have 4 pages. How? How? Well, even then, this is 4 full pages. Yeah, still more. They have around 2 card more. And yellow and this have 3 pages. So most of the color have 3 pages or non-full 4 pages worth of legendaries, while yellow have nearly 4 full pages of legendaries. So that's one. Second, look at how I rate this card. You may don't care, but just look overall. Very solid. Each other color have some really shitty legendaries, But this color is specifically also, what the heck, this guy here. He move 5 on this, move 5 on that, move 5 on that, move 5 on that, let's move on that. Okay. Yeah, they have a lot of B plus, a decent amount of A, 3 S tier, and only some very mediocre card here. This I will explain later. So let's start then. We will start off with CC our main. Just kidding. Serenok. I put Serenok. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Serenok.
Okay, Serenok is a one yellow stud card with insane stat for the price and an annoying as fuck ability that could make your opponent either benefit from it if they're playing life loss or harm from it, get harm from it most of the time. I put them as a pretty high A tier cards. And one more thing, this guy generates, so any cards that benefit, like makes your card generates more, he will really much benefit from it. If you only will play one card that costs this much, and then you play something like makes your card generate, he will generate one stud, and then the next turn he can generate another. So he just pay for himself, and you gain one extra stud from this guy alone. And then if your opponent play a card, then well, he's just gonna reset his stat, unlock himself, deal 200 damage to your opponent, return your hand, bam, reset his stat. So he's not gonna easy to kill. And if the opponent choose to kill him before they cast out the fighter, they will take 500 damage back. That's a decent amount. Like, they will take 500 back. Plus, he ain't that easy to kill. He have 500 HP, which a lot of cards deal 500 damage, but hey, he costs one stud. What do you expect from it? So, high A tier card. Really good. Next, Lord of Greed. I put Lord of Greed as a low A tier card because first of all, is contracts. If you playing mono yellow card deck, he's not gonna be very useful because you have to play when you control no yellow fighter. But if you're trying to splash yellow with another color, this guy's actually pretty good because he very cheap. Yeah, yellow have a decent amount of cheap legendaries. Yep. And B, he have a very useful ability. He's not inert, so he do generate, have decent surviving capability with that amount of HP, and he have haste, so you make it to buff the guy's attack, and he uses haste to kill something, and when he kills something, he draw a card. But it's not necessarily when he attacks. It's when he just when he destroys something, like in a counter attack. If he destroy the guy, he will also draw you a card. Sometimes he harm you because 0 card, then you draw a card and you hurt yourself. But at the point, just don't play him because he doesn't provide that much attack anyway. So it's a very solid card. It's just a bit hard. It's just not gonna be very useful when you play a yellow only deck, and it costs 2 white and generates. Also solid card, low A tier, but still A tier regardless. Next, Hollow Treats is a 3 whites that will wipe out almost all aggro deck, a lot of life loss deck. Actually, not a lot of life loss. What I'm saying, it wipe out a lot of cards, a lot of important card. Although it's end your turn, that could be a downside. But I think it could be a downside. But it's a low A tier card anyway, so it's still good and it could help you a lot. Although the end turn is kinda huge, it's still a good card regardless. Still more useful than this guy over here. Next, Blox. You see this? It's an inert, right? Yeah, it's not. It's basically during your instep. If this card survive, it will give you a permanent yellow stud if you know how to play the game. Trust me. First of all, decent survivability, 500 HP. A lot of yellow cards have 500 HP. Wow. 100 damage. You're not gonna attack with this guy anyway. You don't. You shouldn't. And next, ability that helps you a lot. Like if it gives you something that is unplayable, just discard it and get a free permanent stud. If it gives you something that's playable, just play it. That's more stat. You know, something that requires splash, like I don't know, This guy over here, you can discard him. You play something that requires splash, and you have the exact color for that splash. That's a huge profit for you. Very good. And he gonna live. Like don't attack him and he live. He will minimally give you at least one card, or maybe two. Minimum. He will on average give you 2 cards before he get killed. And when they kill him, they just waste an attack turn on the guy that do poses a threat, but not the biggest threat on the field. Like this guy, Hopley. This guy makes aggro cry, makes blue cry if played properly, and makes most deck feels annoying as fuck. This guy, first of all, let's look at his price. 2/2. Because yellow is a decent amount, have a decent icon generation. So that 2 yellow icons can be very easy to get. And you know where you get that 2 white from? At the end of your turn. So you can play this card almost every time. He have 600 HP, good survivability, 100 damage. You're not gonna attack with the guy anyway. And if you do, well, he basically have 200 damage. Cause look at his ability. End step, he deal 100 damage to all enemy. May seems little, but it will stack up if this guy live for like 2 or 3 turn. 50 power. That 50 power is just bonus, and it could get annoying, a real annoying sometime, especially when you're playing blue. Like you play blue and you meet this guy, boy, he will ruin you. And the best of all, you can health buff the guy. So you will play green, blue, or anything, splash a guy, or just play her. Godly pancake. I don't know if it's her or she, but like the skin is her, so okay. Buff health, buff this guy to like 1000 HP. He hard as fuck to kill now, so like keep firing his crossbow into the enemy, and then he's just gonna reduce their attack, reduce their health. Slowly but surely, they're gonna die. The only real way to counter this guy is just AoE buff, and AoE buff is not a lot. And then when you even get to the point when you kill this guy, same thing apply to Roblox. You just waste an attack turn on a guy that may pose a threat, but overall, stat-wise, poses nothing but high HP. That's why he's S tier. He's very good. You could basically run this guy in any yellow deck, any deck that have at least 2 yellow cards or 3. You could run this guy in, and he'd be fine. He'd be fine there. He basically a mini Shaleteshki, Raging Pulse Shaleteshki, for like 8 times the cheaper price. No, not 8 times. That's 9. This is 4. 9 times. Yeah, almost 2 times the cheaper price for this guy. Good card. Nothing else to say about. 11. So this is why yellow is so fucking annoying. They have so much card that stats wise poses little threat. Actually, they have a lot of cards. They have both. They have cards that poses threat with their stat and ability, card that poses threat with their stat, not their ability, and card that poses threat with their ability, not their stats. And it's so fucking annoying. That's why yellow is so good, and that's why I hate this color in general. But god damn it, I'm gonna have to translate his name in case someone roasts me in the comment section, because I misspelled this guy name a lot. Wait, what? Devin. Is this how you write his name? Yep, Devin. Yep, okay, I will consider that. Let's see what this learning translates to. No, not that.
A Devin.
A Devin. First of all, stats. 300 damage is fine. Most kills decent amount of things. Have high survivability with that amount of HP. Cheap, only 3 whites and 2 yellows. Almost the same healthy. And when he attack, he draw a card. The main ability is that simple, yet that effective, that there's actually no other place for me to put him in A tier. Middle pack A tier. He's just so balanced that the first buff he get is a 50 HP buff to his original 600 HP. And that buff changed a lot. Like, okay, where's him? Oh, I used to play around this guy. Glaze. No, what the fuck? Glaze. Yep. This guy does 600 damage. Have 600 attack. So originally he could just one shot. Goddamn. He could just one shot.
Devin.
You just one shot Devin here, and he dies. He got dealt 300 damage back, and the Glacium Mage will live with 300 HP. But now,
Devin
will live with 50 HP and 300 damage. He gotta counter that back, and then the next turn, if you don't play anything else to finish off that 50 HP, which, yeah, if you do that, you kind of waste. He's gonna attack again, draw the opponent a card, and cancel out your Glacium Mage, which is fucking annoying. Same thing as Hobley, Roblox, and Greed. Not the biggest not the biggest threat stat wise, but drawing a card every turn is pretty good. And then you get to choose when you draw a card. Like if you have low on card, just don't attack. Skip the turn. You not necessarily have to do that every turn. When you need card, attack with this guy every turn. Bam, bam, bam. Cards. Good. Next. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. Wait, no, that's Godly Pain. Yep. Jesus. Now this is the first example of stats instead of ability. Actually, why is he so low? He's more vibrant than that. Yep, okay. So let's see this guy. He's a 5 yellow, which is above average for the cost, but still cheap because yellow with just these 3 cards alone already generates you a bunch of icons already. Now look at stat. His stat is pretty interesting. He have shit amount of HP, 222 HP. The thing about interesting about this is that he not gonna die to spell that do 200 damage, which there is some, so he's gonna live. And when he's cast, and he have insane power in the form of 2,222 point 22 power. So he's deal decimal damage, which is a meme thing. I'm pretty sure it's just a meme thing. And when he's cast, your opponent draw 5 cards. He end your turn. First of all, let's look at the real downside here. It's end the turn. He will end your turn, so you can't combo play with him. Imagine this: if he doesn't end your turn, you could play him, unlock him somehow, attack with him, and that's a lot of value already. But because he end your turn, so you can't combo play with him. So that's his actual downside. His other ability is both a downside and an upside. So you see, if your opponent have 10 cards in hand, you play this guy, or just need to wait your opponent have like from 7 to from if your opponent have 7 cards, you play this guy, you get okay value. You play 8 cards, if your opponent have 8 cards, you play this guy, you get good value. If you have 9 cards and you play this guy, you have huge value. You have 10 cards and you play this guy, you get absurd value. You just discard 5 of their cards from their deck. Don't need to necessarily know what those they are. They just lose 5 cards, and if they all 5 cards are their win condition. Congrats! You just make one of the greatest play in the history of Blox card. Just kidding, but still, it's pretty good. And he costs 5 yellow. He only costs that much to do that much. So if they have 10 cards, he basically, when he starts cast, destroy 5 fighters / spell / terrain on your opponent. 5 random. Okay, maybe not like that. But that's good. And he end your turn. So now when he ends your turn, your opponent get to react to him. And well, here's the thing: he gonna destroy most things that he used to attack it. Imagine if your opponent have two fighters on field and one have, like, let's for example, if they have Pilgrim and I don't know, Clone Trooper 1019 on the field. When you play him, that's then they will just destroy him. That's a good trade for them. But if your opponent only have one fighter on the field, one big fighter on the field, for example, something like where is she? Yep, Rakatu. If they use Rakatu to attack Jesus, you just have the one of the most insane trait you have ever seen. The man only have 200 HP, and they just have to throw 2,000 damage into him, and he's just gonna kill most thing back. If they can't be counterattacked, then fine, that's fine for them. But if they can be counterattacked and they is a huge stat fighter, you just have good trait. Now let's see if they end the turn, they just play some fighters. Oh, this guy also can be countered with haste or spell, do 200, 300, 250 damage. So you could die to that, but you cast the man for a reason, right? You could play him in the right situation. He's a high risk, high reward card. So yeah, you could, they end your turn. They play a few fighters, end their turn. Now there's two options you could do Jesus. One, you could use Jesus to attack on their guys. And if Jesus lives, that's good. He's gonna attack another time. If Jesus die, also gonna switch the. If Jesus die, then that's also fine because you could just kill their big fighter. You know, this much power, kill most things. Most. Second, you could also use the other fighters you have on field, destroy the opponent's fighter with those, and then let Jesus his face. When Jesus his face, he deal this much damage, which is a lot. Like, they're gonna have a hard time surviving after this unless they're playing health gain, and well, you just reduce their health gain by 2,000, so they're gonna have to take time to do some combos back. And the most amazing thing about Jesus is when you're late game, both you and the opponent have 0 cards. They have a huge amount. They have like 3 fighters on the field, and those fighters could destroy you. You have 1 card in your hand. You have that Jesus in your hand. You play Jesus. They draw 5 cards. They just take let's see. They will take 100 plus 200 plus 300 plus 400 plus 500 plus 600. They take 2,100 HP. They have health. They will kill your Jesus. And for example, if their Jesus will kill back one of their guy, you can take 2 hits from their guy. Let's say two of their guy have 1,000 damage. So it take 1,000 HP. You're down to 2,000 HP, right? And now they gonna draw your card, so you're down to 2,000. And now you're just gonna get to 600. Now got a plus 700. What the fuck? No, plus. Well, I think 2008. And you need more stats. But yeah, he's a good card in Fatigue battle, because he could make your opponent instantly draw 5. Good card in Fatigue battle. Yeah, that's why I put him middle of the pack, B plus. Better in B. Oh, I need water. Next, a godly pancake. I will have put her higher. I will actually put her here. I mean, around here. It wasn't for a nerf. Actually, cost 2 white more. Because 2 white more is still more cost, right? Actually, now I think about it. Yep. Yep. Not necessarily. Well, maybe. Yep. 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 Yeah, okay, let's put her A. She's actually pretty good. Okay, so for 2 whites and 4 yellow, we already established that yellow's stud is not a problem for yellow, because they generate like gods. They're god generating, not necessary to the level of green, but it's still good at it. So if you play this, you play 2 extra white, you'll get basically you just get an approximately 900 HP and 400 power extra stat to the field. You will use that final target to save from your guy, activate triggers on target effect, and you still have this fighter to use. 400 damage is fine. 400 HP is also fine. Gonna trade some, gonna die some, but it's still good. Like, it could save Jesus, it could save something else, I don't know. And the best of all is that you could use this in a yellow deck, and then just bring 1 or 2 more health buffs, and that's like most of the health buff you need in the to win a game. If you want a tower, no, you need it. So it's very good. Like, not much. Okay, she costs 2 white and 4. Let's go find some other legendary that could do the same thing. Let's see. Not this guy, but hard to pull. 4 for only 900, but that 900 isn't, spread to other fighters. Yeah. Yep. See, not much fighter could do the same thing for a cheap price. Yeah. So yeah, she's actually pretty viable. I might put her in low A. Still good, regardless. Actually, more viable in this thing. Not as viable as him. So it's actually very good and have a place in the meta. She actually used a lot. Saw her use too many times to be comfortable with. Next, we can take a look at the only card in the game that I haven't. God damn it!
If.
The only card in the game that I have an if art for. I not purchase it from the Robux shop because I have zero Robux. I get it from trade. It's Bright Eyes. Now the art looks cool. But here's the thing: the card isn't cool. Actually, it's pretty shit. Why? First of all, let's look at the stat. She's a 1 white, 5 yellows. 5 yellows, as expensive as Jesus. Okay, 1 white, so now more expensive than Jesus. Let's see her stat: 1,100 HP, 400 damage. That's just 1,500 amount stat. So that's not a lot, and 400 damage, I have established a lot, is not too much. 1,100 HP is also not a lot, and she will lose straight to 1,100 damage guy. 1,000 damage guy. So that's first of all her weakness. So she don't have the best stat in the game. Like, seriously, that amount of cost for stat is not the best in the game. If she deal fire damage, then well, that's an amazing thing. But she have this much stat, well, it's not good at all. Let's look at ability. Gain a blue stud, a red stud, and a green stud. Okay, you know what else that did that? Like, way better than she did? Did she do what she do? Where is it? Gain. Wait, it's gonna be here somewhere. What is it? Red. Yeah, just go red and yep. Okay, split ego. It's 2 white, 2 blues, it's 2 yellows. It gives you 2. So what? You say, what's different? It's just 1 extra stud. Okay, you maybe not saying that, but I would just say it anyway. Oh, with 2 extra stud, you could actually use these thing, limb of power. You just 2, you could play this thing, like you play Shaleteshki, play that, and if you have 4 yellow stud and you play split ego with a Shaleteshki on the board, you could play all 4 of these. But if you have you play Bright Eye instead, well, she will give you how to say this, 1, and you cannot cast any limit power. You can only cast card like Toxic, which is not the best card in the game, and you have a mediocre stat fighter on the field. And then if you end your turn, it's not gonna stay at all. It's just gonna get reset back to 0 if you don't have anything of the color in your base play. So she's not really useful in mono yellow deck because as you say, her stat is not that good, and she's really not the threat here. She's really not good for her stat, not good for ability, and have a pretty decent high cost. So that's why, as sad as it would sound, as sad as it would be for me, put her level C just because. God damn it! Why do you give me this art? I would like to get another art, please. That's good enough though. It's good when it's stay in your inventory. You don't necessarily have to use it. Okay, next Smash Dude. So instantly you could see they have the same cost. Surprise. Now let's look at stat. Cost for stat is horribly shit. They have 600 HP and 300 damage. Now, let's look at his ability. Whenever you cast a fighter, if there are less than 2 colorless of stud amongst the cost of fighters you control, summon a clone of this card. Basically, when this card is whenever you cast a fighter, if you have two whites, have less than 2 white stud of your color, like this means a 1. So when you play this guy, it counts 1, and you have no other fighter that costs any whites on the field, he will summon another version of himself. But now here's the thing, because the other version of himself also costs 1 white. So if you ever play another fighter that even if it costs no white at all, they both will not summon another fighter, because Smash Through 88 1 and Smash Through 88 2 combined have the cost of 2 whites, and they will not summon either. So the card is kind of broken, unless actually, yeah. I think a good way to buff the card will be to just remove the white cost from him, make him cost another yellow, and then you could actually have fun with the guy because you gotta have a bunch of stat on the field. But when you do that, you get another 600 and 300 HP on the field, 600 HP and 300 damage on the field, which is decent, but it's counterable. The fact that if you're going to have 2 guys on the field, they have 600 damage. These both, if they pick to attack both Smash Dude, then the cycle will end, and he will limit you to using cards that cost yellow stud, which there aren't a lot. Like just cost yellow stud, don't have any whites in them, which there aren't a lot. So his ability is a bit flawed, and his ability is a bit flawed. He don't have the biggest stat on the field, and you can't infinite do it to him. Infinite, infinite Smash Dude 88 combo with him, which is kind of sad. But I know that's for a balance reason. So not the best stat in the world. But same thing is, he have the same thing as Roblox and Hopley and EI. Fine. With this guy right here, is that his stat may not be the most threatening, but if you let him live on the field, it's annoying as fuck because he gonna keep summoning more Smash Dude if your opponent knows what they're doing. And then when they both dies, you have to spend 2 attack turn on this 2 of these guys. So specifically, they're gonna counter back 300 damage, and you just lose 2 turn of attack. You know what's more useful? Yeah, what's the worst thing? Is that the man is not even that strong of a card. He's just there. Like you spend 2 attack turns to end an infinite cycle. it's reasonable, but at the same time it's not. So he's actually a very annoying card to fight against, just not the best card in the world. That's why I put him as a middle B+. He's not the best, but he's not the worst either. Next, bright guy, just kidding. Zack attack 33. Okay, let's look at cost. He's a bit pricey at 4 whites and 3 yellows, so a bit pricey. But his stats is fucking amazing. Same thing as this guy almost. Jesus. But the thing is, Jesus have a downside that's end your turn, and have a upside and downside that draws your opponent 5 cards. Which is, when it works, is a devastating upside, but when it doesn't, it's a devastating downside. While Zack Attack 33, see, this is why I usually said Jesus is just a unsafe version of Zack Attack. Zack Attack is like the insured version of Jesus. He also high health of 700. 700 is a decent amount of health. He'll survive thing and will kill things back. And speaking of kills things back, look at the ability. Look at his stat. So nice. He's not even inert. He will generate yellow stud. And when he attack, he can use red stud, which may not be even that useful, but who knows? Maybe you splash him. I don't care. I just care for the stat. Look, it's 1,400 damage. It kills so much thing. And he will live a lot of time because you have 700 HP. So, with that amount of stat in play, congratulations. He will just be sitting here in the middle of A tier because he's that good. Next, Agent Bloxer. So, he's a 7 yellow, which is actually expensive, and 1 white. His stat is fucking horrible for his ability, but look at his, for his cost, but look at his ability. So, if you have a full board with 7 fighters, and you play this guy, you get probably the most insane value you could get from card. Everything gain 200 HP on your field, and then you get more stat as 400 and 600. Now get 200 more HP, and you get 600, 600 for 1 yellow stud. That is amazing by itself. But now, when you look at him from like a normal standpoint, you play him this guy dry, he's still good. Because although he's a bit expensive, all of your fighter gain 200 HP. It's still fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. So that's why I put him here. You know, because he's very good if pull off properly. If he pull off properly, he'd be here. Because most of the time you cannot have a full fighters board because, you know, wipes exist. I gotta put him here. He's down on B+, but he's still good. Run him if you can. If you have spare space in your deck, you could run him as long as you're playing yellows. Yeah, okay. Okay. This card right here just makes me so sad. He's a 7 whites. A 7 yellows. Wait, is it 8 or 7? Wait, what the oh, he's a 6 yellows. Oh, that just made him better. Sorry, that meant 6 yellows. Pretty good. 7 yellows. Look at his stat. It's shit. It's pure crap. But now, look at his ability. Were the ability able to compensate for his stat? No, it's shit. When you put a card in your hand, it's not even drawing. Like, you put a card in your hand. Okay, you put it. Now, every stud, every of your icon now set to 3. Even yellow, even white, and all the color. Okay, great. Now what do you do without 3 color? Well, you used to be able to play 3 color bosses. 3. Fine, I'll just do it myself. Fine. You used to play these 3 color bosses, which are these guys that cost 3 used to cost 3 icons of all of these color of the color they possesses. This includes Delirious Ooze, Confusion Elemental, Beast Break, Great Beast Maker, and it's Fire, yeah, Fire Master, and this version of this Fire Master guy. So you can play him. That's good value. But now they are nerfed to nearly shit because they cost 1 and they're not shit. It's not synergized well with this guy anymore. So now he's basically shit because you just play too much for literally just a shitty amount of stat, and the build is not even that good. So yeah, it's kind of weird why they even, you know, doesn't buff this guy in a long time. Never seen this guy be used properly, and I never seen this guy being used either. Like, he's never been used by pros, and I rarely see anyone use this guy. So he's not even that viable, and it's just once per turn. You can't do this like multiple times, which is kind of sad. So it's not that good. This build is kind of shit. Everything else kind of shit. But that's why I put him D tier. But he's more viable than this guy. Trust me. So it's D tier. Yeah, he's very bad of a yellow legendary card. Next, Call the Teddy Bear. Real talk here. Toys are pretty good, and this thing just make toys freaking broken. So there's really nothing else. Toys by itself are very good good archetype, and you unlock all of them. They can attack once again, and they give you 3 toy cards, which is just pure willpower. This card just too good. Even action, so it's not gonna trigger on fighter's effect. So yeah, stay here. Next, near miss TFW. Um, first of all, the man is, let's just say he's expensive. He's 5 whites. Whites, in my opinion, is usually worth a lot more than when you cost a colored fighters, because you most of the deck is gonna be fighters with color, and they only can generate that color. And when the others is in, you're gonna most of the time get whites from the 2 white at the end of your turn. So he costs 5 white, that's a lot. But then he costs only 1 blue and 1 yellow, so he's splashable. His ability, he's like a big version of this guy. When you attack, you gain a lock. So basically, draw you a card, and you could trigger this lock effect multiple times. You playing yellow, so you gotta trigger, and then you gotta draw. But he could sometimes backfire you. He doesn't have the great stat in the real world either. Yeah, it's actually pretty shit for what it is, but the draw card is acceptable, and these have more survivability than this guy over here. So I guess we're just gonna put him here, cause I don't know. The man's not that viable. He would cost a bit more, 1 more, blue. He's good in lock spam, but lock spam is not shit. So actually, he's not even that good in lock spam. You don't necessarily need to run him anything. Well, just put him here then. Sad guy. He used to be good though. He had 4 damage, and not good. He used to be nice. Like he had 4 damage, and that's good trade. And lock spam is known for shitty stats at the start. So yeah, Turination. Okay, Doge. First of all, this is he basically Zack attack, but reverse in cost, in terms of cost. He have decent survivability, decent damage, and not good damage, okay damage. But look at his ability. Whenever Doge dies, summon Doge. What Doge is known for? Shit health, but high AF attack. So you attack, the Doge die, and you have more Doge on the field. So it's not like you're gonna lose the stat, but you gotta regain back the Doge card itself, and give you more Doge to attack. So it's actually very good. He's have fading though, so when he dies, he's not gonna summon anything. He's not gonna summon Doge, but that's not his true weaknesses. His true weaknesses is that he's a bit pricey for Doge, but then again, he only costs this much. So when you play this guy, he have decent stat at start, and he one of the rare Doge have decent stat at start, and when the Doge dies, summon Doge, pretty good. But here's the thing, Doge is a shitty archetype that is so easy to counter, and most of the time get used by noobs or new players. And I myself don't use Doge, so I don't know the power of it, and I have never seen much pros using it anyway. So enjoy your low B plus. Next, Bloxer 787. Let's get straight up. He 5 whites, 2 yellow. Fine, that's a bit expensive. Stat. Okay, pretty shitty stat for the cost. Ability, fucking broken. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow legendary in 42 yellow legendary that you could get that require splash in order to be cast. And if you do so, you just discard a card. Bam, let's go with that. And when you play this guy, no. And when you attack against this guy, well, just gotta give you one of these insane legendary. It doesn't even need to be good. Like, imagine if you just, maybe J the Coder, it's still an option for you to use. And it may have pretty good survivability with a 1500 HP, 50 HP. That 50 HP, 50 extra HP, yeah, that's useful. Because still more HP, the more the better. He have 250 damage. Listen, the difference between 200 damage and 250 is so noticeable. And this is an amazing card. He attacks, give you that card, and then the thing is, you don't even need to deal damage. You just need to give your just attack. So if there's a guy with 0 attack and high health and with like even 1 health, 10 health, and this guy has 0 attack, well, basically just farm legendary from that 10 HP 0 attack guy. Because man, this is so good. He's just gonna give you one of these cards, and it's just so annoying when you let. If you let attack once and he dies, well, that's pretty bad value, I guess. 2 times and he dies, he is still bad, but it's pretty good now. 3 times, which is average amount of time you gotta live with this guy. Insane value, so much value. In fact, they're gonna put him right in the middle of S tier. Very, very solid card. Though I still don't understand why yellow have this guy for attack and then give you a legendary. Red have what is it? Aussie pick for attack then give a legendary. So why yellow, green, and blue have that? Why don't white have it? Seriously, just give one of these guys to one type of these guys to all the other colors. It's not that bad. Next, Gemly Jamie. Okay, first of all, we have an archetype. So he's a noob archetype. So he can be buffed by noobs. That's pretty good. But the thing is, his ability is really not that good. First of all, look at his price. He does 6 yellows, 2 whites. So that's actually pretty expensive. The stat is fine. He have okay survivability and high damage output. Oh yeah, you see, you trade these two fight each other. They will trade. They're not gonna die. Like Boxer is not gonna die. So he could attack in and then bam, they both dead. This ability is summon a noob, and each player draws a card for each fighter you control. If you control 2 guys, then well, yeah, it's this guy and another noob. Well, both players draw 2 cards. That's both good and bad for your opponent. In that same thing for apply to Jesus here. Next thing is, if you control 8 fighters, well, most of the time gonna be bad for Jesus, be bad for your opponent because they most of the time gonna have 3 cards or above. But then again, it's not ensuring anything. He's just a weird card, dude. He's a very weird card. Like, I don't know why. Why can't he be like when he starts like his old version is so much better. Like when he starts cast, he deal 200 or 250 damage or 150 damage for each fighter you control. Like why can't he have the same ability? It just burn, you know. Like at 8 fighter, you just gonna deal 150 times 8. You did 1,200. Like it's not even that good. I like his old ability more, but this ability here to stay. So you could get buffer noobs, and noobs are actually pretty easy to get swarm. And you with swarm, you can draw more cards. So when you draw 8 cards with noobs, because most of the time noob gonna spend most of your card away. This card actually pretty good in noobs deck, but outside of that, it's just weird. But regardless, he's still more viable in Bright Eye, so put him here. Next, Indoor Snowball. First of all, when he used to be 8 white, 8 yellow, he actually pretty good. Cause 8 yellow is expensive, I agree, but you could get it. It's not even that hard to get. But now you have to splash him, and when you splash, well, he's actually pretty easy to get out, because green is an easy way to get green, but you just splash it anyway. Not splash, you just use it anyway. So, well, when this guy played, he basically a pain in the ass, cause yeah, 600 damage, 600 HP is high enough. And when he died, I got 2 smaller version of himself, which is pretty good. But here's the thing: this man is have spread stat, so it's both good and hurt for your opponent. If your opponent uses a card that destroy a card and then use it on this guy, you gotta summon 2 smaller version of him, so you're not gonna lose all of that amount of stat. But if you have a card that requires destroys to have the ability, like they have a wish need, you have their wish need knight. They have something like Brazil. Brazil. You have something like Darko, Swordmaster. They will benefit so much from destroying just this guy alone. They will just wreck you after that. I once have a game where my opponent play Indoor Snowball. I play Darko Swordmaster, and I play what is it? I play Presswick, and I destroy snowballs. He spread out 2 guys. and then Dark Summoner destroy Houston's ability. One of his guy have 100 HP, so he dies, and then Darko activates his ability again, and then another of his guy who have 200 HP now lose 200 health, dies. So now Darko activates his ability once again. Two of these smaller guy die, so he got attacked twice. And then it's just and then because someone two, so it's like four version. Four version is like one, two, like it just activate Darko ability so much time that just win the game there. So yeah, it's a good card, but it could backfire you. And he used Splash to get him out, so put him here. I mean to play with green to get him out. Sorry. Okay, next. Clone Trooper 1019. 5 whites, 3 yellow. Pretty expensive. Stats, not the best in the world. Okay stat, but that could actually be better. Now let's see the ability. He's a resistant card, so that he cannot be destroyed, it cannot be set. So he basically immune to a lot of cards. But here's the thing: he can't be damaged or set. So he can't be destroyed by normal means like damage or set stat. But those two of set stat is a pretty rare effect to see, and can't be damaged is probably the most common effect to get heals. But dude, it's just two effect. Like I want Clone Trooper to be great, so he's fine. He's B plus, but I want this guy to get a buff. Like he's a bit boring. I gotta put him here because he's actually pretty viable. But man, I just want this guy to have like immune to literally everything but health buff and attack buff. Like even we need to swap, that's fine. That's all I want this guy to be. I mean, look, he have a shield and a sword and a knife. He's supposed to be immune to most things. But regardless, he's still a viable card. B plus. He's a bit boring. There's not much else you can say about the guy except that he's decent. Next, Merely. Hey, eight yellows. Pretty expensive. Good survivability. Okay damage. Effect. What the heck? You could target this guy like 8 times. You get 8 yellow legendary card in one turn. So good, right? Well, I mean, you just need to target, and target effect is actually harder to pull up compared to attack most of the time, but it's still good. So situationally, Merely could be better than Bloxer, but Bloxer is more reliable and have you have a higher chance of casting this guy compared to Merely because Merely is actually pretty expensive. But other cases really just kills the opponent, so I could put him A tier. You didn't see anything. Actually, he more viable than this guy. He more viable than her, and not necessary. Yep. Yeah. I gotta put this guy here. Just target this guy 1 or 2 times, and he's already good. Just pretty nice card. So I can't have much to say about the guy. He's a good card anyway. Next, Drager. I don't know how to spell his name. Sorry. 4/4. Either 8, 4 white, 4 yellows. Pretty expensive. His ability used to be so broken, but now it's less broken, and that's why it's just weaker. He used to be reduce the damage of all ally fighter by 100, and they gain 400 HP, which basically make archetype like Doge benefit so much from this guy. But while because they have attack buff, and this actually made him lose 100 and I get 400 HP. Like he's just so good. But now Ethan gained 200 HP, and he gain and loses 200 power. Yeah, 200 power is a lot, and 200 HP is not that much anyway. So basically like a weaker version of Bloxer to me. Wait, what the fuck? Why? Yeah. I would like to switch places, please. You don't supposed to go up this far. Okay, he made a weaker version of Bloxer to me. He's more expensive according to the game, and well, his stat isn't even the greatest in the world, so that's why I put him the low B plus. Yeah, he's not really that good. And Bloxer, sorry, mate, I gotta put you here. You're pretty good. I just forgot that you better in a lot of these cards. Sorry. Next, True Hive Mind. 4 blues, 4 yellows. First of all, B is a pretty shit archetype now, so yeah. Second of all, the requirement for this card to to be active is actually pretty easy. And well, you know, these are just so. It's actually pretty good for B decks. More viable. Fuck, I fucked up again. This card actually pretty good. I mistaken it with bucket of bees. Sorry. There. But B itself without that good of an archetype, it's pretty easy to get countered. But you can pull up this card, it's just an amazing card. And B's have a lot of cards to get transformed, so pretty good. Middle B plus. Next, UNC Uncorrupt. First of all, that's like the stat is just kind of meh. 700, 700. The effect is fine, but instead when you play an action, instead of you target this card, which make it both benefit you and your opponent. Because with uncreative name 123, he will shuffle a card into your deck. Then he will both make player draw a card. With this guy slash girl, because no, the old art for this guy look clearly is a girl. I don't know, maybe it's he. I just don't know how to recognize gender. Maybe I'm that bad at human knowledge, but yeah, they just target this guy when on their turn, and you can multiple player draw a card. It's gonna damage you and your opponent if they know what they're doing. But then again, if you know what you're doing, this will also be a good card. But yellow doesn't necessarily be to be the most overpowered. Actually, is definitely a mill archetype, but a bit expensive for a mill card. So it's not the best card to serve its purpose, and the stat is pretty meh. So that's why I put him B plus. He's still more viable. No. Yeah, he's stay there. Not that good of a card, but then again, could be used. Next, homing bacon. Now that I think about it, goodbye. Boop. Now homing bacon. Well, I mean, he's as good as a noob could get. Oh yeah, C tier, not that good. Um. Yep. Okay. Actually, no. Okay. Actually, no. Yep. Alright, here's perfect. Let's see, homing bacon. 7 white, 7 yellow, 1 white. Pretty good. Actually, pretty expensive. Stat is fucking horrible for the cost, but the ability is actually pretty good. So if you're playing a life loss deck, here's the thing: the main one won't be useful if you're not playing the life loss deck. If you're playing life loss deck, I recommend you using this guy because you can pull him off and he's gonna gain so much stat that your opponent can't do any shit about it. But you can't. You don't play your life loss deck, and he's kind of useless. There's no reason to play him in non-life loss deck. And well, if you can't pull him off and you can discard the card, like, he's not in your main win condition or anything. I still like this card to get another ability, like to get a rework. But life loss needs some love, I guess. So yeah, I just gonna put him at middle B plus. Solid card for a very specific way to play the game. But that way to play the game actually pretty decent by itself. Good job. Next, god damn it, I hate myself.
Gusmanak. Gusmanak.
Okay, let's go over Gushmanak. 3 whites, 5 yellows. Actually, pretty cheap. Like 5 yellow as this guy, and 3 whites is just as much as this guy. So it's pretty cheap. Stat is actually pretty weak for this cost, but the ability is so fucking amazing that I can put him here. Like, this man can solo so many fighters. He could just live through so many turns that it's just so good. Like, yellow doesn't supposed to have this much stall power, but here he is with this insane stall power. If you weaken him, then well, that could be a way to counter the guy. But then again, yellow have attack buffs, so you still need to destroy one guy. Even if you have 1 attack, 100 attack, and one guy with 100 health, that basically a free 200 attack for this guy. Just don't health up him too much. He's just very solid card. Heck, don't ask me like that. Where's he? The best card. Wait, I wanna see what's this. They have new art or what? Cowboy have the same art? Yeah, okay. Half gained, okay. The card, the best card. Pose. Red clip puzzle, no. No. Nope. Nope, not that. Block. Pretty sure it's in the block category. Ah, yes, this. C. Yellow. See? This is a good player. And look, these cards are independent. It doesn't need archetypes. This is just my opinion, nothing official. The best card for each color, in my opinion. Don't take it. Don't take my word. Take this guy word. He is that reliable. Oh, so your card. Zilak. Oh, what the heck? This card here exists. ZX. Oh, okay. Yeah. What else are you saying? Just that good. Yeah, that good. Just, just so good. But I gotta put him down here. Actually, no, I think right. Yeah, put him down. Okay, next. Ostrich size. 4 white, 4 yellow. Pretty expensive, but the ability. It just so broken and so weak at the same time. If you only play this thing dry and don't play anything else with him, well, he's still good and annoying. And you probably have to kill this guy, but they can summon more ostrich everywhere. And when you play this guy with AoE buff, he becomes fucking amazing. There's so many stats to get from this guy alone, and I think that he just should stay where he is, but he's just very good. There's no real way to balance the guy. That's why he's so strong. You make it nerf his ostrich, he's useless. But if you nerf the guy stat too much, he's also useless. But if you don't do anything about it, say make him stay this way, he's very strong with card. Low A. Yeah, very strong low A, okay? Next, Ultra Direct Griffon. Same cost as this guy. Ability, just so broken, dude. Like, it is. Okay, first of all, you don't need to attack this guy immediately. Just play this guy, let him stay there as a tank for you for like 1 or 2 turns. And then when he like at 600 HP or something like that, attack once, you gotta set his stat guy to again, and it's gonna be a huge hassle for your opponent because 750 and 750 is not anything to be joked about. It's actually a very good stat line for any card, unless it's just shit as well. And you just got just use this guy what he's meant to be. Just so super hassle. He's very easy to use to as well, and pretty cheap to pull off. That's why he's here, high A tier. Or you go to this guy, call to arms. 8 whites, 8 yellows, but you get one of the best thing ever. You get to fill your board with so much new recruits, and give yourself a reinforcement action with some even more recruits. But here's the downside. Same thing as indoor snowball. Recruits are weak. They are AoE buffable, and that's why they're strong. But when they get killed and they have Darko Swordmaster on the field, it's just basically a free lunch for Darko Swordmaster at that point, or something like that. And that's why there's some thing that pull him back. But then again, just so much stat on the field, pretty good. And 8 white is not really that hard to get anyway. And it only costs yellow, so you could play this card in any deck. And if you don't want it, just discard the card. It's pretty good. And the reinforcement action actually only costs 2 white or something. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, play wisely. B middle P plus. Actually, more viable. Yeah, pretty good card. Next, Typhoeus the Whale. High A tier. Let's get it straight. You play this card, you either win the game or wreck your opponent. Okay, first of all, 300 damage haste is not even that bad. and even have 800 HP to survive, like most attack, and then just unlock every other fighters, which is fucking amazing, because they're gonna attack again, and that's pretty good. Almost every card that belongs to yellow synergize with this guy, because his ability is so vain, and it's so good. It's so that simple, yet it just devastates so much plays. Devastate most deck, devastate so much, devastate most deck, devastate your opponent way of calculating this game. Like they have 2000 HP, for example. They think they have one guy with 1000 damage on the field. You attack them once, and they calculate, oh, now I have less than 1500 HP. They could play a lobster, which is good. But now you play this guy, bam, they die. This is a very solid card. A tier. High A. Next, Princess Arisfia, Master Ototis. To pull this guy off, pull this card off, pull her off. Okay, pretty hard. The cost, I mean, you're playing Ampharis, so this card actually not that bad. And when you actually play this, it's actually pretty good. But the thing, nobody fucking play Ampharis because it's the hardest fuck color to play. So that's why she belongs below B plus. If she pull off, she take over games. If she doesn't get pull off, then she will not take over games as you thought. She might be. Because she's not gonna get cast anyway. Yeah, just stay there. Next, my personally favorite card, when it have this old art, I just want they to return the Midas art, the King Midas. Is that his name? Okay, Raw Blocky. I just want they to return this art into the game, but they have this art to replace it. So fine. Here's the ability: 5/5, 5 white, 5 yellow. Pretty expensive. Ability: it's just basically just 1000 damage haste. And then if he survives, it's just even more damage. It's just so painful to fight against this card. If your opponent set up well, this card take over game. If your opponent set up shitty, this card will not take over game, but it will just damage you a lot. And if your opponent, this is your opponent's last effort, it's still a good last effort because it's just 1000 extra damage to any card that you want to survive, and it is spread. So they could just play 500 damage. They could just sacrifice Raw Blocky to something else, and they could sacrifice the drawing to something else. So spread 500 damage, which make it even better. Like, it's a pretty solid card. You pull off. It's a bit expensive, but hey, it have its stakes. It have a reason to be expensive. Now let's talk about a card that isn't that expensive. Technically, Lord Auctions. First of all, 7 yellows. It's not that hard to get. It's too hard to get sometimes, but seriously, really. Next, stat to cost a tremendously horrible stat. But then again, look at the ability. Basically, if you pull this guy off, he's a 2 white, 500 draw card. Amazing card slash stat. This card is so solid that could just be run in any yellow deck, and it will benefit from it. If you don't want like a guy, just discard the guy away. Most cards in yellow have the exact same thing. You don't like the card, just discard it away. If you want the card, then you stay in your hand. There's no harm in it, because most cards in yellow cost yellows and would require almost no requirement to get played. This guy, one of them. This is a perfect example. Just draw your guy. So solid. Such a solid. If you have one card in your hand, it's this guy. Just play him if you can. Because that draw card will help you anyway. And it puts stat and field. It even generates by himself. High A tier. More viable, not that viable in this guy. But he's just so simple. Now that's a card that isn't that simple, and it's actually, when I read this ability now, we'll go down one. We'll go down. We'll go down here. Wait a minute. Let me just check. Let's see. My name is TFW. Not that good. But let's see if I win this guy. Let's see if I win near miss. Okay. This man used to be good, I swear. I just doesn't read the ability now. And when I read it, he just so shit now. Wow. Look at this amazing stat for like 6 yellows. Have a requirement for the ability, and the stat itself isn't even that good. Like the stat to cost ratio is just such shit from this guy. Yeah, destroy fighter, only if you can control 4 fighters. You can destroy 1, but it's still some value. But it's not that good value. Now I think about it, just go down here. Cause holy shit. They nerfed him so when he had counter attack, actually pretty good, but now wow. Disappointment. Wow, just such a shit card now. Well, he's a fuck this guy. He have little uses now. Yeah, for why couldn't you just use lobster, lightning bolt, thunderbolt? It's so much better. Like, yeah, it's obliterate your entire color, your entire base plate, but still good. Plushy unicorn. Yeah, exact same cost this guy for white 6 yellows. The ability, yeah, just average. You put, you may think it's a downside, but here's the thing. Let's have a look. Haste. There's 3 pages. There's 2 pages. There's 1 pages. There's 2 pages, and there's 1 pages. So you're having. This is one of the example of the card that belongs in the right color. It belongs in the color with the most haste card in the game. It average is the cheapest. They have Lord of Greed. They have Pilots. Where is it? Happy Clown. They have Pilot. They have Galaxy Flame. They have Young Tan. They have so much dumb shit that could fuck you up with. They even have this guy, Quishmo. Yeah. So it belongs to. Fortunately, it belongs in the color with so much haste, and with so much haste come this thing. Spam haste. It's just bread for 500. It's basically this guy, but you need to pull off more. But when you pull off more, you get more reward. Just so much bread. Technically better than this guy in a lot of circumstances. Worse in others, but good in a lot more. While having an okay stat. The cost to stat ratio is not okay, but the stat itself, when just put against most other stat, is okay. And have an ability that is just so fucking broken and annoying that this thing just saved me a lot of games. Love it. Next, what I'm introducing to you right now is the ultimate copycat card that can either break or make games. Mad Deuces. Play this guy and you copy most things. He have so much health, so he's not gonna get killed very soon. He can be swap stat and dies, but that's unfortunate a lot when it happens. But the ability is just very fucking good. You could copy this guy. You could copy this guy. You could copy anything you want. It's just such an amazing card. And I have nothing else to say about the guy. He's so solid. This is my most used legendary card for yellow. And it's just so good. There's no way to literally explain it, but it's just very easy to get to splash with blue, and then when you play this guy, just so much value, just so much more stat, such good thing. Next, pot of gold. This thing used to be meta, but now it isn't. But it just it just draw you 5 cards is for this much. Not really that good. 5 cards a lot of time could be a hindrance instead of a helpful thing, but well, I still see people using it. I know why, but people still using it, so I gotta put it here. Oh no, no, no! You're not going up there. Uh, yep, yep, yep. Okay, but it's still there. So next, Jada Coder. This card used to be used a lot, but now I don't know why they don't know use them. Maybe because Chair is removed, and Chair is basically the cheapest archetype, so can't spam him with him anymore. So it's kind of sad. But same thing, he just wipe feel. You put this guy off, he's just so amazing. When you don't, and well, he just pretty shit with his stat compared to his cost ratio. But then again, you'll have a lot of cheap cards. Like I said, they have a lot of cheap cards, so you got benefit a lot from this guy. And here's the thing: when you play this guy, he'll instantly deal 100 damage because he don't have stealth. So when your opponent have a lot of guy with 100 HP, this guy gives a lot of value for just being alive alone. And the next few turns, just go devastating your opponent slowly, since surely devastating your opponent more and more. Puts guy value pretty high. But again, there's just so much more cards that's better than him. So that's why he low B plus, but he's never gonna leave B plus. Yeah. Next, Divine Pengu. 10 yellows, 2 white. Fine. I think it's a pretty pretty overkill price. And when you play him, it's not even that good. Now that I think about it, you should just go down here, my friend. He's not too low of these two, but yeah, it's survivable. And getting 10 yellow with yellow is actually not that hard. And 2 white is just cheap as well. And when you play this guy, well, the next couple of fighters you play are all gonna be godly, because they gonna have haste, most of them. And when you play this guy, you somehow pull off this guy, this thing, and just play any fighters. It just becomes so much so good. And that's why I put him here, because he's very expensive, but you can pull off him, and it's good. Next, it's funny how the it's funny how the 2 out of 3 most expensive legendary of yellow is actually pretty bad, except for this guy, and this guy. Well, I mean, don't. Okay, let's go. Angelic God Beast. Let's see. 13 yellow. Fine, it's a lot, but when you play this guy, you could actually cast him for 9 yellow stud with, if you have a God Beast. Now you play this thing. Wow, so much more stat. It's just so much stat. Just make a fighter become godly, and this thing just helps so much. It's actually amazing how this thing is. It costs a lot, but then again, it's just so good. But it do the icon costs do pull it back, because if not, then well, it's gonna be broken. So that's why he's gonna be staying here in B plus. Next, Hollow Sinister Patriarch. I don't know how to say it. Let's see. Stat, the cost: 6 white, 6 yellow, 6 red, 6 yellow, 1 white. Stat to icon ratio is not that good, but it's fine, acceptable. And the ability, well, I mean, you're playing Sinister, so you have to force to be playing an archetype. That was making him not that good. Cause you don't play Sinister, then well, letting your opponent accumulate this much icon is not that good. It's not that it's not rare. Like it's not common. Your opponent most of the time gonna have like less than 10 white icons, and even if they have 13, well, the ability is counterable. Like, it's actually counterable, because it only trigger once. When it doesn't trigger once, then well, this man used to be broken as fuck, but now when it only trigger once, well, then just decent. It's just good, but it is just situational. It's still good sometimes. B plus Sinister actually pretty strong if you play know what you're doing. But a card that doesn't even benefit you from knowing what you're playing. A card that just have such flawed mechanic that just so bad that this card right here, it deserved a buff. You thought this thing doesn't deserve a buff. You're wrong. This thing needs a buff. Telemon. 8 icons of all color combined into one piece of shit. 8-8. Fine. Stat to cost ratio is shit actually. But because 8-8 is a stat, 8,000, 8k, 8k is a stat that no fighters have, you could, fine, I let it pass. But here's the thing. He immune to destroy, return, reset, right? You know what he's not immune to? He's not immune to copy, immune to clone, he's not immune to he's not immune to steal. Oh, Reggie actually have a pretty decent art now. He's not immune to steal, right? He's not immune to copy. What the fuck? Oh yeah, he's not immune to clone, right? He also not immune to lock. Yeah, he's not immune to lock. And the worst thing of all, he is not immune to damage. And you know what thing kills him the most? This guy. With all of those hard work poured into that one guy that may win you the game, your opponent, with way less hard work, can just play this guy, click onto your Telemon, and it's dead. It's meme to the death of its whatever celestial slash lord's doing. It just memed it so hard that I don't think this card even that viable anymore. It used to be viable. Viable is not good. But now it's just out of the realm of good. It's just actually fucking shitty now. Just please find a way to buff this guy. He's just so crap. Just rework the guy entirely. He's not even that good anymore. What the fuck? He's just so bad. Even Jetch agreed with it. Even where is it? Where is he slash she? I don't know who's that. Let's see. Awful card review. What are those? Can't stop all. Okay. Nope. Awful cards review. Let's see. Post, right? Yeah, it's on. Yep, Telemon. Just read this. Yeah. Yeah, just read this. So sad, man. He could be so cool. He could be that final boss in the game, and then they just don't let him do that. No, you have to be that shitty card that he could have been the best card in the game. You know, why can't he just win you the game? Okay, let's see. 8 times how many colors in this game? There's 5 colors in this game, so times 4 or 5 is 40. Now let's look at this thing right here that just instantly win you the game. It costs 8 times 3 plus 1. It costs 25 red icons. And this guy ain't winning you the game. You could just they could just lock this guy and then just wait until you fatigue to death. Because when you pull this guy off, your deck gonna run out of cards most of the time. He could be so good, man. How the mighty has fallen. Low D tier. Well, but it's one tier left. The secret tier that one card belongs to. The covert tier. Sorry for the name. Now, we can look at Smash Dude 88 again. So, we already established that this man is not that good, but it's fine, right? Well, there's this dark secret about the guy that could make and break games. They could save you or destroy you. See, there's a glitch in this game that I don't know if it exists more or not, but sometimes still happen when you meet this guy requirement. Instead of summoning himself, one more copy of himself, he will summon the copy of the card you just play. See, now that's what makes him broken. That's what makes him belongs to this tier. You play this guy, not that expensive. You follow up with any card that only costs yellow. Bam, you get 2 of those cards. You could, follow him up with I don't know. You could, where is it? Follow him up with, not necessarily to be need to be a ugly Poe. You follow him up with where is it? Luigi. You follow him up with what the heck is that? Oh yeah. No, yeah. Fuck. 2 Peacebreaker, 2 Ramsta, 2 Reveling Star, 2 Skull Collector. There is so much thing that could follow up to this guy, and if everything goes well, it destroys your opponent so hard. Like, it actually it's actually such a game-breaking bug that needs fixed instantly. There is just, yeah. Imagine having 2 Serenok. Your opponent could die because their mind just don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do. They can also just summon 2 cards that they were supposed to be summoned twice. There is so much thing that could go wrong with this guy, and this guy alone, they deserve his own tier above all else. Yeah. Remember this dark secret, and you will master this game. Smadouche 88 is actually one of the best legendary in the game, but it's because of a bug. Okay, this game is so broken. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, share, and no, share. Just leave a comment. Like if you want, subscribe if you like to, and yeah, this is my Blox card legendary yellow tier list. Legendary yellow legendary Blox card tier list. Hope you enjoyed the video. Gonna do a white one day, just not now. See ya later.